All right, welcome back, everybody. The Thanksgiving meal is usually pretty standard, and it revolves around the big bird, the turkey.
But what kind of wine will you serve? Will it go with the appetizers, the sides, and the desserts, and all that that's going to be on the table?
Absolutely. Renee Allen is here to offer us some wine wisdom. She's a certified wine educator and founder of the Wine Institute of New England. Thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
We've had a lot of fun out in the vineyards.
Yes, we have. We've been trolloping through the vineyards.
We really have been, literally in the fields.
Yeah.
So you've come to us today to talk about Thanksgiving.
And we're going to start, and we're going to go course by course, because that's what we need to know. You know, you think, uh-oh, what am I going to put out? So starting number one, a lot of people are going to put out cheese on hors d'oeuvres.
Yes, that is commonplace. So when you're doing cheeses and hors d'oeuvres, it's really great to have a high-acid sparkling wine if you can, because high-acid and bubbles cut through different things like fried foods, fats, all of that. It cleanses your palate, makes you ready for the next bite.
Okay.
So it's very versatile. It pairs
So like
with a lot of different foods.
or a champagne?
You could do, well, yeah, you could do a champagne, you could do Prosecco, you could do a Cava, you could do a Riesling, just a still Riesling. I actually brought a Vinho Verde from Portugal today. It's from the cooler corner of Portugal, so it's a nice high-acid light white that pairs well with a lot of different foods. If you're adding a little charcuterie or something and you want a little more heft, I would suggest a sparkling rosé.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a very nice way to start.
That's fun, sparkling rosé. Pink and bubbly.
Pretty.
Pink and bubbly.
All right, and then the lighter first courses.
All right, so if you sit down to the table and you're having something that's maybe vegetable-based, seafood-based, a salad, you want to go with those high-acid whites again. You could do something like a Grüne Veltliner. You could also do an Albarino. There are a lot of high-acid whites out there. Sauvignon Blanc pairs very well with vegetables. The Grüne Veltliner is what we have in our glasses here. It actually comes from Austria, and it does pair well with lighter foods.
Might we suggest...
I know, he's looking like he really wants...
I love the bouquet.
Cheers. Cheers. Always cheers. No, it's a nice bouquet.
All right.
This is yummy. I didn't cheer you. It's bad luck.
No, it's okay. We're moving to richer first courses.
Okay, so you're sitting at the table, and instead of having a salad or seafood, or maybe after that, you're having maybe a butternut squash soup, or you're having pasta that has some cream or butter, cheese, anything that's a little bit richer. You want to get into weightier whites, like this one is a Viognier from the North Rhone in France. You could also do a lighter red. This is a Beaujolais Cru, also from France, but you could move into your Pinot Noirs now, maybe a Bonarda from Italy. So you want to keep it light, not too many tannins, but it's a little bit weightier than those high-acid whites we were talking about before. And you could actually take these through the rest of the meal.
Oh, really?
If you wanted.
Okay.
You could stop there, but if you want to keep going.
You want to keep going.
All right, the turkey and the sides. Now, immediately, I think people who don't know will say, oh, turkey. It's a white meat. You need a white wine. Is that not true?
Well, what's really interesting is even though we're talking turkey, the last thing you need to worry about is the turkey, because it's the most neutral thing on the table.
Okay.
So there's not too many wines that really fight with turkey. You can do whites, you can do reds. I mean, Pinot Noir and Chardonnay are both kind of traditional wines that are served. But in answer to your question, it is white meat, but there's also dark meat, so you can put some weightier wines with it.
Okay.
But you really do need to worry about those sides that you mentioned. You have to worry about the sweet potato casserole, the gravy, the stuffing. So that's really what you're pairing, because you're always pairing the most dominant flavor that's at the table. The turkey's easy.
When a guest says, I just want some white Zinfandel, do you try to educate
them out?
Do you try to educate them, or you just give them what they want?
Well, it depends how much of a friend that person is.
I'm not doing it in your house.
I think that she doesn't have any white Zinfandel, so she'd have to offer something else.
No, it's, every moment for me is a moment to educate, but personal preference always comes first. You know what I mean? So be polite to your guests, Scott, okay? You want them to come back next year.
All right, now we get to the favorite part.
We're into the main thing here. So now I've gone with maybe, again, a really weighty white. Maybe I've moved into a Chenin Blanc, a Gewürztraminer, or a Zinfandel is really nice to go with your dinner. You want to, if you have anything spicy, like sometimes people do spicy stuffings, avoid high tannin reds, because that's going to fight with that spice and exacerbate it and make it worse.
What do you mean when you say high tannin? What is a high tannin?
Thank you for asking. No, I'm glad you did. So tannins is something that's found in grape solids, so like the skins, the seeds, and the stems. And when, well, we're going to get very technical here, when you drink it, because it's in the red wines, when you drink it, it actually interacts with the protein in your saliva and makes this chafing, dry feeling inside your mouth. Those are tannins.
Okay.
But when you have very spicy food, those tannins are going to make it taste much spicier and not good. So don't go too tannic. Again, you can go with a nice weighty white like a Chenin Blanc or something like that.
Now we go on to, there's a couple of kinds of desserts, but starting with creamy desserts.
Yes, creamy. So that's your pumpkin pie, your cheesecake, your creme brulee. Here I want to have a sweet white wine. I'm going to go with a Sauterne maybe from France. I know I do a lot of French wines, but also there are some beautiful late harvest Rieslings that you can get. And I've been really enjoying this Quaddy from California. It's made from the orange muscat grape, which is known as Moscato in
wonderful.
Italy. And
so pretty.
It is like apricot and slight orange blossomy and sweet. It's like drinking nectar, and it would go with any of those.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chocolate, Scott. We gotta know. What goes with chocolate?
Goes to chocolate.
Chocolate, if you're doing chocolate and maybe berries like a cherry pie or something, ruby port is the classic combination. If you move into pies that are like apple pies or pecan pies, the nuts and the apples really benefit from a tawny port because that has more of those kinds of qualities from the oxidation that takes place while they age.
Okay, so here's a couple choices. Now,
Right.
if you're just feeling like, I don't know, I don't have enough wine glasses or enough table space, if you're just going to serve one wine, you can do that.
Yes.
What is that?
Well, if it's a white, I would go with a Vouvray, which is the grape is Chenin Blanc, and that is from France. You can also get Chenin Blanc, believe it or not, from South Africa. They plant more there than they do in
Vouvray,
France.
is that the kind of...
Vouvray is the appellation, yes, so that's what it would say on the French label. But the Chenin Blanc is the grape,
Okay.
and it's weighty. You could get it off dry so that it would not present a problem for anything spicy or with a little bit of sweetness.
And
but if you go red,
oh yeah, go ahead.
you got to go red though, because as a classic, the Chateauneuf de Pape would be my choice.
Okay. So now you know if you're bringing one thing. All right, for more information about the classes Renee offers, she certainly knows a lot. You can check out her website. It is?
The Wine Institute of New England.com. I'm going to hold my glass.